Denny Hamlin really about to go through the same thing Kyle Busch went through last year, trying to get a contract, wait till the very last second, and end up shipping out of Joe Gibbs Racing? And is Joe Gibbs Racing now the evil empire of the NASCAR landscape? We'll talk about next here on Stuck in the Catch Fence. Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Ryan Peters for Stuck in the Catch Fence. Glad you guys have decided to tune in. Wanted to talk to you today about some of the news going around the NASCAR circuit. Some big news. We haven't seen Denny Hamlin drive the FedEx car in almost 2 months. It's been a while. It's been Mavis Tire and a few other things. And it had me thinking that something isn't right. Now, I've been pondering this for a while, and other influencers have made their own videos of what their thoughts might be. But now my premonitions are starting to come true, and it looks like Denny Hamlin is hung up on a deal. Now, Denny Hamlin himself says, oh, it's all on paper. The only thing left to do is to be signed. Well, let me flash back. Last year, everything was all hunky-dory. When it came to NASCAR, NASCAR's only two-time champion at the time, and Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs Racing. Everything was fine. Everybody wanted the same thing. Toyota's David Wilson was going to let you know that no big deal. And then as time went on, it slowly looked like the impossible, which most people would have gave 99% chance that Kyle Busch returns to Joe Gibbs Racing, turn into what we know as today is Kyle Busch now at Richard Childress Racing. And it seems like, to use a quote from Yogi Berra, it's deja vu all over again. So where and why are we at this point? I made a video about how next year, I believe that Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and Joe Gibbs would have their last dance together. I might have been a year too soon. A lot of you watched that video, had really good reception to that video, and I appreciate that. But now I'm here to tell you, I'm not even certain that Denny Hamlin rides with Joe Gibbs next year. Now, a lot of people think that Toyota has been the evil empire all along. But thinking about it now, to align it with Star Wars, if you look what has happened over the last few months, almost a little over a year now, the plot almost couldn't get any better. As if Darth Sidious, which would be, Emperor Palpatine, or in this case, Joe Gibbs, rises up, acting like he's just the nice old good man that he is, gets on his throne, and every time he has a new apprentice, whether it be Darth Vader or anyone else, he waits, gets what he wants, and watches them fall. Does not care what it costs. As the only thing that matters to Darth Sidious is that his empire remains, no matter who has to fall for it to get in his way. He already let go of Darth Vader. Kyle Busch is no more. Now, it looked like the one to step in his place was going to be Denny Hamlin or Martin Truex, 1A and 1B. Well, Martin Truex has decided to come back, at least for one more year, probably his last year. But now, are we watching another sacrificial lamb? Are we about to see Darth Maul, a.k.a. Denny Hamlin, get cut in half in front of our own eyes as another one goes by the way of the evil empire? Denny Hamlin is just another stepping stone for Joe Gibbs Racing to say, we appreciate what you've done. You don't have money. See you later. If he loses FedEx. Now, coming into the news this week is that 2311's decided to talk to Ford. A young driver named Zane Smith is on the free agent market. And now 2311, who never was looking for a charter, just might have one because the rumor is Stewart-Haas Racing may be looking to sell 2 of theirs. All of these things are not coincidental. And they could, in fact, just be pawns in the grand scheme of things to get leverage to get these deals done sooner rather than later. Oh, yes, we absolutely are talking to Ford. Are you going to get a deal for us, Toyota? Those could just be the rumors put out there by each side to try to get these deals done. But let's look at the recent history of Toyota. Levine Family Racing. Done. Toyota never stuck with them. Joe Gibbs Racing never did enough for them to be more than just a thing that they could use to get Christopher Bell. Furniture Row Racing was Chevy, went to Toyota, goes bankrupt and loses out at the end of a 2-year deal. Did Toyota try to help them? Just enough to get Cole Pern and Martin Truex. Red Bull Racing. Toyota and JGR have been aligned to the point that it has been JGR at the top of this mountain, the empire, and the rest are just small little planets that have been suffocated by the growth of said Darth Sidious. Will he allow another team to prosper? It doesn't look that way. Now, moving forward, we see Legacy Motor Club go to the possibility of an alliance with Toyota. Are you trading 2311 for Legacy Motor Club compared to what we've seen out of the last few years? Look at what they got today. They have a rookie driver that they found a way to let go. Eric Jones has already been to Joe Gibbs Racing, and they decided to let him go. 2311, Bubba Wallace is having his best year he's ever had. He's on the verge of making the playoffs without even having to win a race. Tyler Reddick, you pride from RCR, a young talent. They're looking to add a third team who might just get Zane Smith, last year's Truck Series champion. Are those the things you want? Or is Legacy Motor Club just another pawn for the Joe Gibbs scheme that they don't have to worry about holding them back when it comes to Toyota resources? I will warn you, Denny Hamlin fans. I have seen this play out last year. You think there's no way that something would happen to where my driver won't be driving in the 11 car next year, or previously the 18 car for myself. I didn't think there was any way possible. But there's only one thing that seems to matter to Joe Gibbs: money and sponsorships. Those two things tied together in NASCAR. If you have a sponsorship, it comes with money. Right now, we haven't seen FedEx be the primary sponsor for Denny Hamlin for a while. Do we think that's coincidental that we also haven't got an extension from Denny Hamlin? I think not. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch, the guy that couldn't get a sponsor last year, according to Joe Gibbs, has had about 6 this year. Cheddar's, Alsco, McLaren Grills, Lennox, 3Chi, BetMGM. Today they announced that they got a sponsorship for one of the biggest law firms in the United States, in Morgan & Morgan. Is it really about the money and the sponsorships and being able to get a sponsor? Or does Joe Gibbs just want his sponsors, his drivers? He doesn't have to pay anymore. That's what it seems like. Had no problem bringing in grandson with that Monster Energy money. I can't imagine that FedEx wouldn't be willing to work with, considering the success that Denny Hamlin has had. Or is Denny Hamlin saying FedEx is going to go with me to 2311 if you guys don't start putting forth some of the effort too, because I saw what happened to Kyle Busch and how quickly you'll turn on us? I don't know. That's the real question. Joe Gibbs and Toyota aligned feel like whoever gets in that car is good enough to win a championship. And maybe they're right. But at the end of the day, it's only been Kyle Busch to win a championship with Joe Gibbs Racing in the last couple decades. Martin Truex has done it with Furniture Row. He did not do it with Joe Gibbs. They had an alliance, but that's the same alliance to where 2311 had to break apart to do their own thing because they get what is really considered fifth and sixth in terms of options and support from Toyota. They're just there. They don't get the same type of money and equipment and personnel that the Evil Empire does. The Evil Empire gets it all. You get whatever the Evil Empire no longer needs. Is this really what we want NASCAR to become, is to watch its stars get thrown away? And you can say what you want about Denny Hamlin. You don't have to like the guy. But he's won everything besides the championship at this point. And he might be the regular season champion this year. I think he's a hypocrite more often than not. But at the end of the day, he also brings me entertainment. And he also brings entertainment on the track. He's a very good driver. Possibly on the outside of the Hall of Fame looking in. And certainly if he gets a championship, he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's becoming way too easy to root against Toyota and the Joe Gibbs Racing Evil Empire. They care about themselves. They don't look to support anybody who they don't feel outside of their own grandson is necessary. It's really not that hard to root against them anymore. And this is coming from a guy who would root for Joe Gibbs Racing drivers because my driver raced for him. But anymore, there's no anything. And I get it. Business is cutthroat. It's a dog-eat-dog world. But at the same time, what we've seen transpire from Joe Gibbs Racing and from Toyota is they don't give a damn about their drivers, and they sure as hell don't give a damn about any other team besides JGR. So how do you feel? Has your perception of Joe Gibbs Racing changed? Are you a Kyle Busch fan like I was and now don't look at them with the same favorability? I mean, my second favorite driver is Christopher Bell. He's right on the wall. But it's starting to push me to the point I don't really want to root for anybody at Joe Gibbs Racing at all. And again, I have no favoritism towards Denny Hamlin. I just recognize that he's a really good driver. And I also will say, I am a guy that drives Toyotas. I have nothing but Toyotas in my driveway. I've put my dollars behind them, and I've put my rooting interest behind them. And it's amazing how fast in 1 year that is all eroded. And maybe that's silly, but at the end of the day, our fandom is what keeps us into this sport. Our passion is what drives the best fans in the world that are NASCAR fans. Has yours changed? Have you looked at it differently? Do you look at Kyle Busch differently now seeing the way that he's been treated? And would it be possible to look at Denny Hamlin if he was treated differently as well? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you tuning in. Tomorrow, we will have the weekly show, but we'll go over this a little bit more among some other news going on in the NASCAR landscape. Last week, it was kind of slow. This week, it's been anything but that. So I appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.